Hello, this is Doc. Today I'd like to address the network marketing industry. I personally feel that there's never been a better time to be involved in network marketing. I've been involved now for over 20 years, but as a creative agency, I get an average of maybe 50 phone calls a day of people getting in the industry. And I'd just like to share with you some things that I feel there's a misconception of thinking that it's a sprint when it's actually a marathon. So you've got to, one of the first things you've got to realize after joining a network marketing industry is that now you are the CEO. No matter what company you're involved in, you're actually your own CEO. And I think a lot of times there's so much emphasis put on uplines, which I feel is definitely very important to have great upline support. But I think there has to be some individual responsibilities, some individual acceptance that you're now in business for yourself, and you're going to have to put your all in all, just like you do if you were working for any other company. You've got to be very consistent. You've got to put some systems in place that many of you know the story of my grandfather and his farm, and how any harvest works is that there has to be a seed planted. Okay, now you've gotten involved in a network marketing company, you've planted a seed. The next process is there has to be some watering. In my opinion, that watering could be working on your personal development, working on your approach toward people, your people skills basically. You will, depending upon how much you water that seed, will definitely have a great deal to do with how well you do. And depending upon how well you water that seed, be it personal development, working on your own skill. Network marketing, in my opinion, is all about being able to duplicate yourself. But before you set out to duplicate yourself, you might want to take inventory of who you are and what type of skills you have, what kind of people skills you have. You want to work on personal development. You want to make sure that whatever it is you're duplicating is going to be the best for not just growing your organization, but for the people that you've taken responsibility for, presenting some opportunity to them. I think one of the mistakes that's made in network marketing is, of course, you hear a lot of the large incomes that are being made, and I definitely very excited about that there's no limitations on what people can make when they get involved in a network marketing company. But I think people are so focused on, $200,000 and $300,000 a month that a lot of people are making out here, that they're only focused on, that home run, that grand slam. You've got to focus on getting yourself to first base, and then working on getting over to second and to third, and eventually, getting that home run. And it takes time. And I think, as far as a business goes and being able to get into the profit zone, I don't know of any other business model out there other than network marketing to where you can invest a very small amount of money and begin to get into the profit zone in a fairly short amount of time. And in my opinion, that's key, getting into profits as soon as you can, and then helping as many other people get into profit as well, and not concentrate so much on getting the really big numbers, and if it doesn't happen quick enough, you give up. And you can best believe there'll be people whispering in your ear on a regular basis, how much money have you made? Okay, you've been doing this for a while. Once going into business for yourself, you've got to be self-motivated, you've got to be self-encouraged. You've got to get your hands on marketing materials that will constantly feed you to keep you going. And you've also got to remember why. And in my opinion, when getting involved in any business, when going in on the front end, you've got to determine, why am I getting involved in this business? Is it for income? Is it for freedom or balance of my life so I have more time with my family? I mean, whatever that why is, it varies for different people. but you've got to write that why down and continue to keep affirmations around you at all times to remind you of why you got involved in this business, and not depend so much solely on your upline for your success. Network marketing is a business that an individual can start with literally zero. I mean, I've known people who actually borrowed money to get involved in a company and have been set financially free. I heard a story some time ago. There was a chemical plant that was open and they were making over $2-3 million a day, and suddenly they were shut down. So the manager called in this company who were experts in getting chemical plants back up running. So they come in, the guy comes in with a white jacket, the manager's following him around. He's going from generator to generator. They had maybe about 100 generators. After about 15 minutes, he stops at this one generator and places an X. And he tells the manager, fix that generator and you'll solve your problem. Sure enough, the guy left. They brought someone in, they fixed that generator. Now they're back up and running, making $2-3 million a day. 2 or 3 days later, they get the invoice from the guy and it's $10,000. The manager blew a gasket and said, wait a minute, this guy spent 15 minutes and sent a bill for $15,000. So he sent a fax over saying, I'd like to have a breakdown of what you're charging us for. So the guy sent a fax back to him saying, $1 for placing the X, $9,999 for knowing where to place the X. So you want to become a person who's known for knowing where to place the X. That involves personal development, paying attention to the industry, fine-tuning your skills, and then be willing to do that for other people. Don't get caught up into thinking that you're in competition and this person's going to make more than you and all of that. And I'm afraid, just like corporate America, which the structure is step on as many people as you can to make your way to the top, well, unfortunately, there's a lot of people who bring that same mentality over to network marketing, and I firmly believe there's no reason for it. There's plenty of money for everyone to make, and you really got to keep that mindset that if this person has made it, it's just a matter of time before you make it, and you should be just as happy, just as excited as if you had made it, and that will pay heavy dividends. One of the conversations I have with people about network marketing is pointing out the fact that there's a reason why the word work is in there. It is some work involved. I'm very much a supporter of the network marketing industry, and when I talk to people who are calling me for printing materials or websites, I really try to take just a little time to encourage them, and then I can hear from their voice that they're maybe wondering if they made the right decision. And so I say to them, well, you made the right decision if you're willing to invest in yourself. Not depend on the person who brought you in, not depend on anything else that's going on. You've got to lock into some systems. Hopefully you're with a company that has some great systems in place. If not, then that responsibility is going to fall on you to create some systems within your own business, because after all, this is your business now, and the altitude is going to solely be up to you, and of course, being very prayerful and asking to be led. But the motivation will actually have to come from you, so you've got to surround yourself with very positive people, surround yourself with very positive information that's going to constantly refuel you, and constantly put affirmations around the house, put them anywhere you can. If you're one of those people who are not self-motivated, and that's okay, it doesn't make you a bad person. If you need reminders of why you're doing something and what you need to do, then put those things around the house, write them down so that you can visually see them. Because the bottom line, in my opinion, is that you get what you picture. So put some things around you that you can constantly picture why you're doing this and where it is that you're headed. One of the things that I was told growing up, it's all's well that ends well, but really, and the truth is all's well that begins well. So you've got to begin this thing right. There's a great book out there called My First Year at Network Marketing. I recommend that book because that book kind of starts telling you some of the different things that you're going to run into, some of the naysayers, some of the negative people. A lot of them are going to come from your family and your friends. They're going to tell you, have you lost your mind? wait a minute, you know, you got a great job, you got a degree, this, that, but I can honestly say I've been involved in network marketing now for right at 20 years, and I've never seen so many people coming from the corporate America with master degrees, all kinds of degrees, who have looked at this model and said, wait a minute, maybe this is a better way to go. And not that they're leaving their job, but you know, they're getting involved in network marketing, some of them part-time. But I've seen so many great examples of people who have gotten in part-time and that are now full-time. They replaced their income and then some. And again, I remind you, if they can do it, you can do it. You can do anything that you put your mind to and that you're willing to do the work that's involved to make it happen. Most of the stories we hear, the only thing people are talking about is how great things are now, and they never share what they had to go through to get to where they are. And I just would encourage more people to be more transparent with people and honest with them up front. When I'm talking with someone about network marketing industry who's considering joining one of my organizations, I'm always very upfront with them, letting them know there is some work involved here. You will probably have to make some changes. You know, this does not come overnight. And if they decide not to do it, well, guess what? That's less of a burden on me, because if you have to convince someone to get involved in your business or your organization, you're going to have to convince them on a continual basis to stay involved. And this whole deception thing, the less deception that there is, the better chances you have with retention and people really understanding that this is a marathon, not a sprint. So I would encourage you to, you know, be the best person that you can, continue to improve yourself. Let's be more transparent with people. Let's keep it real. And one of the things you want to keep in mind in network marketing is that when you bring people in, especially if they've never done it before, you're assuming that they know what you know. Well, most of the time people don't know what you know. I can remember one time bringing a lady into one of my organizations, and she signed up at my office and the computer, the whole 9 yards. She's telling me she's got this database of about 3,000 people. She was actually in the martial art industry and knew people all around the world, and she was very excited about getting in. And once she signed up, before I know it, she's like, let me call one of my friends in California. She jumped on the phone, and I'm sitting right there. You know, I guess she's going to probably have me speak with them after she talks with them. So the first thing she said to this person was, hey girl, I just joined one of those pyramid scheme things. I want you to be one of the first people that I bring into the organization. So of course I'm looking, standing there looking as though I have egg on my face, wondering, wow, you just joined a pyramid scheme. I knew that I was dealing with someone who had no inkling of how the whole industry worked. All she'd heard was all the different noise that's around that tries to discourage people from setting out to create their own legacy. So after speaking with her, you know, and working with her, you've got to really find out where people are. See, one of the things is people always focus on what I've got to learn to say, but some emphasis needs to be put on what not to say. And in order for people to get to that point, they need the information, they need the mentorship, they need the guidance, and this takes work. So you don't want to just bring someone in your organization and then now you're moving on to the next person, or you've done this person a disservice and not help them improve themselves and give them a guideline that they can go on to improve their life, their dreams, their legacy, whatever their why is. The network marketing industry is all about helping people. I've seen great examples of it, and I've also seen examples of where people had the selfish spirit and really weren't concerned about helping anyone but themselves. So you've got to recognize on both ends what you're dealing with and just try to be the very best person that you can be. I tell my own story. Do you?